Hey guys, it's Destiny, and in today's video, I'm going to be telling you why I think you should try Honkai Star Rail when it releases. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. So I know a lot of people are unsure about whether or not they want to try Honkai Star Rail, and in today's video, I'm going to be explaining to you reasons why I believe you should try it out. So to begin, I really wanted to discuss the high probability of it having a very immersive story. As we know, Genshin Impact and Honkai Impact have really good immersive stories. At least in my opinion, I think the stories are phenomenal, and I genuinely believe that Honkai Star Rail will be no different. As now coming in as the next game in line, I feel like the story will be just as good, if not possibly even better. So I'm really excited for that personally, as I feel like the story will be a brand new adventure, especially with the whole Astral Express, it being more so about space and so on. And I feel like the characters as well are going to be a really nice touch to also have in this adventure. Some of the characters are memorable characters from Honkai Impact, but a lot of them do have alternate personalities now, or rather alternate lore, as some of them are not the same from Honkai Impact to Honkai Star Rail. You can kind of think of it as maybe an alternate universe. That's kind of how I like to think about it. So far, the only character I know of that is 100% the same one as Honkai Impact seems to be Welt. Additionally, I feel like the game will be really good in the case of its own abyss. I know that Genshin has its version of an abyss, and so does Honkai Impact, and I feel like that'll be really good as a way to challenge yourself if you feel like the content isn't too difficult or easy or whatever it may be. Additionally, if you are enjoying the video so far and want to see more Star Rail content from me, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and now let's carry on. And now let me get into, I guess, the biggest part, the turn-based combat. I know a lot of people are off-put by turn-based combat, which I completely understand. Personally, I love turn-based combat, and I can tell you why I feel like turn-based combat isn't necessarily a bad thing. Turn-based combat, in my opinion at least, allows you to have a lot of strategy involved when you play a game, such as elements, team synergy, and so on. A lot of turn-based games definitely require you to have a lot of team synergy in order to defeat whatever you are fighting, and I feel like Star Rail will be no different. From what we know, Star Rail definitely has a lot of elements of a turn-based RPG, such as the elements that can be inflicted onto enemies. The fact that you can freeze enemies, you can inflict damage over time on them, and some characters can actually take advantage of this, such as Kafka. She's able to do more damage depending on how much damage over time is inflicted on the enemy. And a lot of the characters' kits can synergize with certain characters as well, which can make a really strong team comp as a result. And I know in Genshin and Honkai, team comps are definitely essential as well, and I feel like turn-based shouldn't be any different, especially since there are a lot of mechanics that will be involved in the game where you can definitely take advantage of certain characters working very well together, such as some characters are able to buff certain elements, and when you have that, your DPS character will be more strong as a result, which is, the typical RPG type of thing. But I feel like in Star Rail, it'll be a really nice touch. Like, I genuinely think that the turn-based will be a good thing, and I'm really excited as the turn-based in the game is a bit more simple than most turn-based games, as there's only really a few things you have to consider when you are in a fight, which is primarily the team synergy, if your element is strong against whatever you are fighting, your speed stat, and a few other things. As for the speed stat in the game, if you are faster than the enemy, you do get to go first, and depending on how fast you are, you could also attack multiple times in a turn. But sometimes that isn't the best thing either, depending on what you are fighting or how the fight is going. So there are a lot of things that can make the game definitely difficult, and I'm honestly really excited for that, as turn-based games I feel like offer a lot of challenge, and I feel like Star Rail will be able to offer that challenge. And I'm sure in the beginning it might be a bit easier since we are in the beginning of the game, but I genuinely think that as we progress through the story, the game will get difficult, and you may need to have certain elements on your team. You may have to have a certain synergy in order to beat whatever you are fighting, such as if an enemy is super defensive and the only way to possibly beat it is if you inflict status elements on it. That could be a really nice touch, as that would prove to be a more difficult fight, as you have to plan what you are going to do in order to beat that boss or whatever it may be. So overall, I have a lot of hopes for the game. I feel like the immersive story, the turn-based, the abyss it'll have, and also its mechanics that are similar to Genshin in a way. I don't necessarily think the relics are going to be too bad. I'm hoping the grind for them is a bit easier than Genshin's, And if it is, that'd be really nice, as that's another thing to consider when it is turn-based, is that your relics will likely matter quite a lot, since it will allow you to either do more damage, be more defensive, be able to support the team better, whatever it may be. And those things that are added to your characters can definitely make or break a team and make or break a battle. And overall, I think those things will be really great to have in a fight. And I feel like, once again, the turn-based will be good. I know a lot of people are turned off by it, but honestly, I feel like everyone should just try the game when it does release. If you guys don't like it, that's completely fine. I understand. But I feel like it should just be tried before it does get judged in a negative manner. At least that's just what I think, since I am very hopeful for the game, that it will do really well and that it'll also be an amazing adventure to experience. But overall, very hopeful for the game. I'm sure the game will do amazing. I will be uploading, of course, more Star Rail content and, just discussing Star Rail with you guys. I want to know, are you guys excited for Star Rail? Do you have high hopes? Do you guys like the turn-based, or does the turn-based kind of set you off and you're not too positive you'll like the game because of it? I'd like to know these things in the comments down below, and just let me know. We can have a discussion about it. And I hope all of you have a nice one. Peace.